Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Bald Explorer live in his kitchen. Yes, I'm exploring cooking tonight. And this is a live show, so I'm welcoming everybody to the wonderful Bald Explorer live show in my rather dishevelled kitchen. So you're all very welcome. Now take a pew, get yourself comfortable. I'm going to try and cook a meal in 30 minutes, I hope. What kind of meal, you're asking? Well, it should be a stir fry of some description. I pre-cooked the rice, which I'm going to just reheat at the end. Just literally just cooked it, so it's just cooling down, but I'm just going to splash some hot water on it. But before all of that, Happy New Year, everybody. It's lovely to see you. I'll try and have a brief look in the chat room as we go and do the show live, but there's only me. I'm afraid Martin's not here. It's just me tonight, flying solo. So, a little bit nervous. So let me just do some bits and pieces here because I just want to be able to show you some stuff. Here we go, in my lovely two-shot that I have set up. You should be able to see now that I have got a whole range of ingredients here, including peppers. Let me come up to this camera here. Where are you? There we are. Peppers, an onion, some mushrooms, some celery, and this funny looking thing called pak chow. There we are. That's what it is. Pak chow. It's over there as well. So that's all good. Let me just come back to my one shot here, and also I just want to double check that we are going out live. Yes, and people are there, and it's lovely to see you. Marvellous. Okay, so that's good. Excuse me fiddling with the camera. I have to do it with one finger because there's not enough power on the USB port for a mouse in there as well. Oh, it's all fun. Right, first of all, a drink. I'm sure you're all very thirsty. Everybody's doing dry January at the moment, and well, let's join them because we're going to try some sparkling, what is this? Raspberry lemonade. Here we go. Sparkling. Now this is one of Morrison's. Morrison's is very close to me, but I was hoping there was going to be a bigger fizz than that, but never mind. Right, I'm going to pour this out. Here we go. I hope you can hear that anyway. Oh, it sounds good, doesn't it? Marvellous. So that's our little tipple. It's non-alcoholic. It is just sparkling raspberry juice. So that'd be good. I'm going to shove it down here where hopefully I won't kick it, which will be because that can happen. So let's just see. Where's my food shot? Here it is. Just switch over to that. So there we are. Cheers, everybody. Cheers. Let's see. Let's see what that's like. Oh, hang on. If I go over to here and do that. There we go. Cheers, everyone. Actually, you do get, it's a bit sweet. I'm not keen on sweet stuff. It's a bit sweet actually. I could do with it being less sugar. I'm not into sugar drinks, but you do taste the raspberries. So I don't know whether they've used real raspberries or artificial ones, but that's not too bad. Right, we must crack on. We're going to have a quiz halfway through the show, or in a few minutes, because I want to test your knowledge on something, and then I've got some other bits and pieces to ask you. But first of all, we're going to start cooking with a bit of halloumi. This is a vegetarian stir fry. Harriet, my dear partner, is a vegetarian. So as I do this, let's go back to our two shots so you can see both things happening. And actually, let me just double check that is still running. Oh yeah, that's good. And people are there, which is marvellous. So here we go. I'm just going to chop a couple of bits of halloumi. Now I'm going to cook the halloumi first. You might think that's a bit daft, but you'll see why. And I'm going to cook the halloumi. I've got this bizarre setup here with this well, what is it? A hob. You see, the challenge, I challenged myself, I'm going to cook the meal with just one hob because my cooker is on the other side of the kitchen and this is sort of like a camping hob. So let's get that going. First of all, we've got to turn it on. I've got a what is it? Not propane, butane, a butane gas thing. And if I can get this to work, which now, of course, it's not going to work on the show. There we go. I might just turn that down a bit before we blow ourselves up. Right, so I'm going to turn that down a bit more. I don't know how much you can see of that. Which way is it? There we go. So I'm going to dry fry this halloumi. I'm going to chop them up a bit smaller because I'm actually going to sprinkle these on at the very end. So I'm going to stick them in now and I'm going to dry fry them, and they don't need any oil or anything like that because they use their own oils and their own flavours and stuff. So that's what that's going to do. Now I don't know how long that will take. It may be not long enough, and I may have to dive over and stick them on the other hob. But the idea is that we do this without... I don't know how hot that is, but anyway, that's the concept. That's the concept. So it's on there. Oh, I can hear it sizzling away already. Blimey! I don't know. I'll just turn that down a bit. That's great. Okay, so whilst that's going on, ladies and gentlemen, I want to show you something. Okay, no, not there. Here we go. Can you tell me? Here's the thing. Can you tell me what tree this is? What tree is that? Do you know your trees? No, of course you don't. Nobody knows their trees. Who knows their trees? I don't know my trees. This is the snag. So let's see if we can forget that one then. What about this one? There's a different tree. Do you know what that tree is? I mean, if you're walking down the street or if you're in a forest, would you know what it is? No? Haven't a clue? No, neither have I. That is the snig and that is the snag. What about, in that case, here we are, this is a better one. This tree, you must know what that one is, surely. Everybody can tell what that is. Yeah? No, I mean, I know these are, I think these are paintings of trees or drawings of trees or whatever, so we may not be able to get the full recognition. Okay, here's an easy one. What about this one? No, wait a minute, hang on, how did that get... That's an upside down Christmas tree. That's no good. Oh, stupid. Alright, let's be serious now. I went out today, I was doing some filming. Here we go, here's a real tree to have a look at. Can you tell from the bark what that tree is? Is it possible? Okay, if that's no good, let's look up the tree a little bit, okay? We'll go and glance upwards now. There we are. I know it's winter, so that doesn't help, does it? When it's winter, it is a bit awkward. Alright, if that's no good, here's the fruit of the tree. Maybe that will help you. Weird looking hanging fruit that is... it's on in the winter, you see that. These little brown... They're like baubles on a Christmas tree, like the Christmas tree we just saw. Alternative, but here's the tree in its final thing. Give up? Know what it is? Don't care? I don't suppose you care. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I'll tell you what it is. It's a London plane. That's what it is, a London plane tree. I was out filming London plane trees. I want to learn trees because when I'm walking about doing the Bald Explorer, and you know there's trees all around, and you see people on the television, they're ever so clever, they seem to know these things. Well, I'd like to be one of those. I've always wanted to know trees, so I'm going to challenge myself to try and get a tree, if not a week, a fortnight. I'll make a video and you can join me. You can obviously avoid those videos if you really don't want to know trees, but it would be lovely to say, look at that ash over there, or look at that beech, or how about that fir? Well, maybe I can get a fir tree, but that Scots pine, wouldn't it be great? So that is the object of the exercise. If you are a tree lover and you like trees, then let me know. I'll be very interested. Now, I can tell you, let me get the food shot on here because I want to show you this. You can probably hear it going. Here we go. We're getting a bit of colour now. Can you see? Where are you? There we are. We are getting a bit of colour on the halloumi, which is brilliant. And that's what happens. They just cook themselves. You give them a nice toasty sort of look to it, which is great. Because they're going to be the sprinkles. Now, whilst they're cooking, I can get on... Whoops, nearly lost my onion. I can get on and do some more cooking. I'm going to cook an onion. I have an artificial eye. And having only one eye, my aim is not always good. So I have to be careful I don't cut my fingers off, obviously. So the other thing I was going to say is, only with an artificial eye... only one eye. I mean, they both have tear ducts. I haven't lost my tear ducts, but funnily enough, I don't cry at the point of the onions. Now, I have to be a bit concentrate because I don't want to slice up my fingers, because I said this is a vegetarian one, isn't it? It's not there's no meat allowed. I might, you know, sneeze and put a bogey in, but I'm not going to put any human remains into it. So there we go, that's my onion. I do it very loosely. I've got a bin down here to get rid of the stuff. Now I'm going to be using this pak choi. Is it pak choi? It's a Chinese thing, I believe. I've never ever used it. I've never used it at all. So I'm curious. Here it is. Pak choi. I'm curious as to how it will cut. Here's one I've prepared. So I'm going to... Now, I assume you don't eat the leaves. I don't know. So I'm going to take the leaves off, chuck them in the bin. And then I assume... I should have washed these because I can see they're a bit dirty, but never mind. It'll all cook, won't it? So I don't know really what bits are edible and what bits aren't edible, but we haven't got time to muck about because this is a live stream. I'll get rid of those bits. So Harriet suggested these, and she said cut them thinly. Well, I'm a man. I don't do thin. They all come out as they come out, so they'll just have to be as they are. But anyway, that's all right. We'll get those all going in a second. What else are we going to do? Mushrooms. Get some mushrooms going. I'll just clean the muck off that. That was a filthy bit of mushroom, that is. There we go. Into the bin it goes. And, oh, hang on. I need to turn these. So these are, oh, they're a bit black in the middle. Bit black in the middle and not done out. The heat is obviously rather centred on this thing, but it's all edible. Halloumi is a Greek cheese, for those people who don't know. I don't know too much about it. I don't know what it's made from. I assume it's made from some form of milk. Is it goats? Is it the whey or the curds and whey? Is that what it is? There we go. It's looking pretty good. I'm going to show you another picture of it. Here we go. Look at that. They're coming on. Let's get rid of that choy. I don't want to burn the place up. Now, whilst they're just tanning up there, let's go and have a look and see what people are saying in the chat room, if anything. Good evening, Richard. Pak choy tree. Oh, don't throw the pak choy. Oh, don't throw them. Oh, it's too late. Eat it all. Leaves as well. Oh my God, you're doing a grand job. Thank you very much for all of that. Oh, I can see the emojis going past. Well, I made a bit of a cock up there with the leaves because I've thrown those away, but never mind. I've never done those. Got to just quickly get through these mushrooms. I'm only going to stick a couple of mushrooms in like this. So something else to talk about whilst I'm preparing the vegetables is I have started, some of you may have known and a lot of you have already joined, which is rather interesting. I had a plate here. Here's a little plate to put my halloumi on. So that's I'm just going to let that cool down a bit. I shall shove that up there, even though it's very hot, so don't lean on it. My halloumi now is looking, oops, one bit's just gone into the bin. Halloumi here looking pretty nice. I'll let that cool down a bit because I actually find when it's cooled down it's quite good. Bit of heat coming off there. So next thing is, what are you talking about, Mr. Vobes? Let's get the wok on the stove. Now, I'm sorry this is only vegetable oil. I haven't got any olive oil, extra virgin or all the nonsense. Shove a bit in there, might shove a bit more. I never quite know how much oil to put in. So we'll let that heat up. We've got that going on, that going. Oh, I've got some, a courgette. Courgette! Chop the end off that. Chuck a, oops, lost one. Chuck a few of those in. Won't have it all because it's only me, you see. It's only, this is a meal for one. I'm going to chop them in half. I don't know how big they have to be. Stick them in there. So I have started a Facebook group, a Bald Explorer group, I don't really know what the difference is between a page on Facebook and a group. So I'm rather hoping that you lovely people will be able to assist me and let me know what the difference is. I always love cooking with a bit of celery as well. Ouch, just chopped my finger off then. I'm not a professional chef, but I like to have a bit of a go. I'm going to shove those in to see if anything's happening. No, I think we need to turn the heat up a bit higher. Hold on. There we go. Otherwise it won't be done in time. We're 15 minutes into the show and he's only got the celery into the wok. What is going on? Right, I've got a pepper here. I've got so many things. The great thing about stir fry, of course, is that you can just use up all those funny bits and bobs. I'm going to try not to slice my head off as I go around here. Pulling out the core of the thingy. I've lost that. I'm only going to do half of that pepper because I can use that again, or the other half anyway. Bit of sizzle coming up now, which is rather nice on the hob. I can see that all working. If I had more time, this is a bit like these kitchen shows you see on the box, isn't it? If I would do these long, thin and very narrow. I'd be interested in your thoughts, how you cook things, whether you bother, whether you get stuff out of a tin. So these, I often bake my peppers. They're lovely baked. Stick that in. Somewhere on here I've got a wooden spoon. Here we are, a wooden spoon. Now I hope you're getting hungry. Get that in there like that. Chilies. The idea of this, because we are in the winter, it is getting cold. It's still cold. The sun came out today in Worthing. I went out, did a bit of filming, as I said, with the old London plane. But I was still a bit chilly. My house doesn't have central heating in. So that's always a bugger. Right, stick some of them in. We've got all this other stuff to go in, so we'll stick all that lot in. Get that stirring. Oops, Daisy, nearly lost the stove. Right, that's going nicely. So now, what am I going to have with this? I tell you what I'm going to have with this. I've got this. I found this in Morrison's. It's black bean sauce for stir fry. Now I assume, I've never used this stuff before. Harriet suggested, oh, you want to use a bit of black bean stir fry? See, she suggested that, and so I thought that was a good idea. And I'm going to try it, but I'm going to put it in at the end. All this is going to take a little while, and we're a bit of time through. So if I don't get it done in the time, I will post a picture what it's like at the end. Right, whilst that's cooking, oh, I've got carrots, and the reason I've got carrots is just to add a bit of colour. Always good. Hang on. Oh, bit of juggling for you. Not very good juggling. I used to juggle, but with one eye, bit tricky. Anyway, that's going nicely. We probably could season it with something, couldn't we? A bit of black pepper. I always like to chuck in a bit of black pepper. Maybe a bit more. Maybe a bit more. Bit of salt. Oh, Christ. Sorry, didn't mean to blaspheme then. Have another gurgle of this. I tell you what else I've got. Capers. This is a right caper. I have had these for a long time. Can you hear the sizzle? Oh, I can tell you that's smelling very nice. I haven't got a spoon to get the capers out. I've got this thing. Stick a couple of those in. Look. Couple more. Like a few capers, they're nice. And also, I know I'm going to put the black bean sauce in. I've got some green jalapenos. Put a couple of them in. That's quite a lot actually. Stick them in. And then I've got some Harabanano hot sauce, hot chili sauce. I'm actually not going to put that in, but I have got a little bit. Here we are. Look, what do you think that is? Mustard. Must be mad. Must be mad. I'm going to stick in a bit of mustard. Actually, Coleman's mustard would have been better than Tesco's American style mustard, but any port in a storm, really. So all that's got to do now is just freshen up. Now, when I do a stir fry normally, ladies and gentlemen, I feel like I'm one of those top professionals. When I do a stir fry normally, ladies and gentlemen, of course, I actually don't bother with all this commercial nonsense. I'll try and make up my own sauce, or I'll leave it glazed with something like that, or a chili relish or something. You know, sometimes you don't need that. But because it's going with rice and it'll be a bit dry, I thought it may be. Right, so it is now time, just clean my fingers, it is now time to go over to here and tell you about this. Yes, you can enjoy. You can enjoy an evening with the Bald Explorer and his bald head and his glasses and his talk and his waffle with the remarkable Martin Snow, who is only too thrilled to be part of the amazing show. Here they are in their prime, and it's on the 2nd of February 2018 at the Sydney Walter Centre in Worthing. Only £7.50 for the tickets. We're working on the script and the stuff that we're going to do. I'm going to be telling you all about my very good self. I'm going to be telling you stuff that you don't know about the Bald Explorer. I'm going to reminisce a bit about the times when I was an extra and worked on Poirot, was in The Bill on Thames Television. I was in Campion, not One Foot in the Grave, Waiting for God. Number of television programmes that I did and worked with the stars. Yes, with the stars. I'll tell you about Snug and Cozy, the silly space series that I made for ITV. And I may even try and balance on a big ball. So I'm going to do some silly stunts and some silly stuff. Definitely worth coming in for. We are going to quiz Martin Snow and find out just exactly who he is and how come he knows all that knowledge. We will be getting to the bottom of that. There is rumour that we may have a band turn up, the Terrible Termite Band or somebody. I'm waiting to get confirmation about that, so that could be good. And this is all looking very good. So there's that, but we're going to do a history piece about some terrible incident that happened in Worthing, which will surprise you and get you slightly squeamish. And I'm going to do some quizzes to ask you questions and let you ask Martin and I questions. So a very rounded sort of show. And there's an interval with a bar, so you can go off and get yourself sloshed and say, yippee, ho ho, and all that sort of nonsense. So we do hope that you will join us there. Now that's nearly cooked. It's very exciting. I'm very thrilled. So let me just have a look, make sure that the world is still out there. We know Martin's favourite colour. Yes, I bet you do. My stream, again, has frozen, but yours may not have. So just let me know if your stream is okay, because mine constantly does that. And then I think, oh my God, I've gone off the air. Oh my God, I've gone bald. Actually, I was listening to the news about the supermarkets, and apparently the what do they call them? The cheap ones. No, that's not the quite well. The discount ones had done quite well. And I thought, well, you can take a baldy to Aldi, but can you have a piddle at Lidl? Just something to think about whilst you're cooking. Now that is smelling very, very good. I think that's almost ready to taste because we're coming up very close to the end of the show. I will show you. Oh yes, we've got lots of things. Yes, you can still hear and see, and that's marvellous. I can see the emojis going flying across the screen. By the way, if you're watching the repeat of this or the recorded version of this, you're still very welcome. Remember, I want to know more about groups and how to do it. The big question I want to know is, should I continue to do the live shows in the group only or on the Bald Explorer page? What do you think? And also, I hear that if you make posts in the group, everybody gets to see it in the group. But if you do them on the page, not everybody will see your posts, and that could mean that people are missing the videos that I go out and make. So I'd be interested in your thoughts and your comments on that, so do drop them into the thing. That would be fantastic. Let's have a look at where we are in the show. Yep. Let's get my special two-shot back up. There we are. Oh, hang on. I've got to actually action it. There we go. So here we are. Let me show you how the stir fry is coming. That looks good. So that's about ready. Oh, I say it's about ready. I've got to put the bean stuff in. Where's my skizzers gone? I must put that in. Just cutting up a little hole in the, as you can probably see. And we're going to try this. Oh, didn't realise, I suppose it's black bean. I'm not going to put all that in because I'm not convinced that I need it all. Just a little bit, just to whiz it up, give it an extra bit of flavour as we're coming very close to the end. And I have here a kettle. All of this has been pre-thought, you know. And I'm just going to quickly boil up the kettle because I have also here some rice, which I'm just going to heat up. And I have also a plate. I'm going to turn that off now. Kettle is nearly boiled. Don't forget the halloumi. I think I'm going to sprinkle the halloumi on afterwards. Sorry about the mess. So the kettle is nearly there. This is, I should have tasted this really, but you know, we've done our best. Right, kettle is, come on kettle, coming up to time. Seems to be working though. Right, okay, let's get a shot of that. Ooh, blimey. So I'm just, I've got the rice in here, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to carefully just warm the rice up by pouring hot water over it. And if I had had a fork, I could have mashed it up, so I'll just use that. It's a cheap way that I do of just warming up the rice, because it doesn't take much, does it? Because rice is, I think, something like 80% water, isn't it? Right, that'll do. I need a serving spoon, which of course I didn't bring. So let's get rid of my water. Shove it over in the corner. Right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment you've all been waiting for, and of course, if you'd all been round, you could have had some. But, oh, there's a little bit of water here. So, the main thing is I haven't got my laptop soaking wet or covered in flour or anything. So we'll dish up a little bit of rice, like that. This is, what do they call it? Balsamic rice. Whatever rice it is, you know. How's Bowles? It's somebody's rice. It's balsamic. Not the vinegar. It's not the vinegar, not balsamic vinegar. But anyway, doesn't matter. It's rice, and it looks nice. And I have put some salt on that already, so I'm okay. We're coming up to the very end now. I'm going to try a little bit of this. Shove some of that on there. And, of course, knife and fork. Just over here. I can't do the chopsticks for the Chinese stuff. So let's get a nice big close-up of that so you can see, so we get the money shot. Turn it onto the thing. There we go. So there's our lovely finished meal. And let's just try a little bit of that before we say goodbye and thank you for watching. And see how hot it is. I quite like it a little... I nearly said al fresco then, but I meant al dente, don't I? Oh, halloumi. Sprinkle the halloumi on halloumi. It's a bit cold. I could have just done with warming that up a bit. Normally I would keep it in the oven, just very, very low to keep it warm. But it's delicious. That now, where's that? Here we are. Here's a bit of pat chow, choy, whatever. Al dente, crispy, cooked though, very nice, spicy, delicious, hot. If you like hot food, that's fantastic. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining the Bald Explorer, exploring to cook with one ring in the kitchen with his raspberry lemonade, a mouthful of halloumi, rice, and goodness knows what. Oh, and a caper. Happy New Year to you, and thank you for being my wonderful fans and for supporting all the stuff that we do. Until I see you again, goodbye. But first, before I go, let's just make sure everything's all working in the stream. Everybody's there. That was brilliant. Well done. Cheese. Oh, cheese. Yes, it's halloumi cheese. It's halloumi cheese. I don't need any more cheese. It looks great. Thanks, Richard. There's Jeff. There's Claire. There's Eugene. There's Gary. There's Margaret. There's Sally. There's Steve. There's Ian. Thank you. There's probably plenty more, but thank you very much. Dave, I've just seen pop up. So cheers. Well done, everyone. And let me know about the groups. I'm very interested to know what your opinion is about the groups and where we should put the videos and that lot. Until we see again. And that goes, it is a bit sweet. It is a bit sweet. I don't like it too sweet. I'm sorry about that. But hey ho, that's the way it goes. So all I can say, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Thanks for watching and goodbye. Goodbye.